Welcome back. Sorry I haven't been filming much lately. I've just been crazy. But today I wanted to film you a video that's all about kind of like getting a glowy summer dewy look, right? So we're definitely into spring, moving into summer here very, very soon. So I wanted to just film something that was very glowy and dewy and easy, almost no eye makeup, no lashes, nothing like that. Just something kind of focusing on the skin. Hopefully I don't pick up too red. It's super hot in my house. I'm like running around doing my hair and like getting everything ready. It like makes me so hot. I start off with obviously trying to have my skin look as the best it can possibly look. I do have this guy that came up a few days ago that's still kind of lingering. For the most part though, my skin's okay. I exfoliated. This is really my favorite kind of like multi-weekly exfoliator. It's the Murad Skin Smoothing Polish. The reason I like this is because it's deep exfoliating, leaves skin smooth and soft, and helps relieve congested pores. But I really feel like it's like super gentle to use. I use it like on my neck and my chest and my face, probably like twice a week. And if I know I'm gonna go out or if I'm gonna film, I usually use this before I film because it does take off that, sloshes off that little bit of dry skin without leaving me feeling kind of raw afterwards. So that's what I start with, and then I just moisturize normally. If you feel really dry, which I actually don't feel very dry right now in all honesty. Well, my little cheeks are so red. So if you feel really dry, you can use a moisturizing primer, but I'm actually gonna use 2 primers just because I'm really red right now. Good Forever Step 1. So I'm gonna use the redness one just on my cheeks, just because I'm like red from running around, like hot red. And I just hate like doing my makeup on my face with red, but you know, no one got time to like sit and stick their face in the freezer. So I'm just gonna do that a little bit. And then I'm gonna follow it up with the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This one is like really, really dewy. Obviously we're going for like an insane amount of dew. Crazy dewy. So as you can see, this one kind of gives you like a really, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit on my neck even. A really dewy finish, like very luminous. You've been in the sun a lot, so you have like really nice kind of like tan, clear skin. You can just wear this if you want to, and it would be awesome. Before I put foundation on, I'm just gonna color correct a little bit. I'm using my Naked Skin by Urban Decay color correcting fluid, and this is the green one that's gonna fix a little bit of my redness, but I'm only using it in the places that I have like a little bit of a blemish, and then my nose, like the tip of my nose gets red, a little bit on my cheeks. And then I take my, finally, a use for your mini beauty blender, and I just dab it in. So right now my skin looks like kind of literally green. So because I don't want it to move, the brush I use for powder, and I just wipe it over the spots that's got a little bit of that excess powder on there. It kind of just helps to set so it doesn't, the color correcting doesn't move around a ton. The foundation I'm going to use today is going to be the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Illumination Color Correcting Illuminating Full Coverage Cream Anti-Aging with SPF 50. I'm going to use it with my Sigma Flat Kabuki, my F80. For some reason I just like the way this foundation has been going on, and kind of all of my lighter foundations have been going on with a brush. With this look, you really want to bring it down your neck. With the shirt that I'm wearing, I kind of want to make sure that even my chest gets a little bit of foundation, just so I'm nice and even. And my ears, you definitely just want to make sure that you are evenly distributing this everywhere, that kind of near your face. Make sure you get it into that hairline. I take my little beauty blender, and I'm just going to make sure that I pick up any excess product. Concealer to be kind of light. I don't want it to be too much. I'm going to take the Naked Urban Decay Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, kind of my OG one, and just start to put that on. Triangles under my eye and this side, and then I'm going to buff it in before it dries. I'm not going to do like the whole situation. Make sure it kind of gets on my nose, and I'm just going to do the rest. Before I set anything, I'm gonna do the rest of my cream products. That's gonna include my Sephora drops, as always. And lately I've been taking my finger and just kind of rubbing on the bottle, and I've actually been dotting it onto my eyelids, just to give my eyelids like a lot of sheen. And then I'm just gonna hit it with Beauty Blender to make sure that it doesn't look crazy. You wanna make sure it's all blended. Now, to continue my path of product, back to my favorite little bronzer, my Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. I've had this for like almost a year now, and as you can see, there's no product, gone, none. So I'm just gonna take that on my angled kabuki brush, my F84, and just use it to kind of start to bronze up my face. This is a very, very rough bronze. This isn't like a contour bronze. So we're just gonna make sure that we get it all around the perimeter of our face. And because this product is really nice and light, it doesn't deposit like a ton of color. It's perfect for this. Down your neck. I know you can see my setup, but I wanna show you this really quick. Move that. If you're wearing a low cut top, you can push them up and give it a little bit of a contour. I know this looks ridiculous, but hey, just bronze that chest up a little bit. We're gonna do around the face. I like to just kind of push it into the hairline. That's what I think gives me the most natural. I don't like to get too far in this area. This stuff is really, really nice, and it doesn't deposit, it's typical Chanel product, it doesn't deposit too much pigment where you're like, oh my god, I totally ruined my face in like 3 seconds. Okay, so now that we kind of have all the creams on, you can actually apply a cream blush at this time if you want to. I just never like the way cream blushes look on me, but we're gonna do that. I just tapped out underneath my eyes, and I'm gonna take my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and my little brush. This is the setting brush from Real Techniques, in case I never mention it. And I'm just gonna lightly set this area under my eyes. My chin, my nose, and my forehead. Because I am gonna be outside, I don't wanna melt. I'm just really taking like the lightest little bit of setting powder and just gonna set the rest of my face. I'm gonna set my chest. I'm gonna do my brows off camera, back in 1 second. So we did brows, set my brows. Now I'm gonna start on my eyes. My eyes are gonna be so easy today, you guys are gonna laugh. So I'm starting off with the Eye Pigment in Champagne by Kevyn Aucoin. This one is getting super, super, super dry. So I just use my finger for it because my finger kind of heats up product. And I'm just gonna put that on my eyelid. You do kind of get some clumps. I really need to just buy a new one of these because I love this thing. It's beautiful, but it is also just like super messy right now. Now I'm gonna take the Tarte palette because I really like using my really crazy expensive Tom Ford palette for this, but I'm actually just gonna use this palette, and I'm gonna take this light shade right here and just use it to like set. You can kind of use any like light vanilla shimmery shade. I'm gonna do my lashes. So today for my lashes, I'm using the Tarteist mascara, and I'm like super in love with this mascara right now. I don't know what it is, but it just looks so nice. With most mascaras, you'll never in a million years see me do 2 coats, but this is the one very, very few mascara I can actually do 2 coats with. And now I'm gonna go in with another, just so I have like nice big lashes without fake lashes. So that's it for eyes. Could not be easier. The idea behind this kind of is, particularly if this is a day look, obviously it's great because you have the sunscreen, but also you are gonna have sunglasses on more than likely. So why do you need to have a bunch of eye makeup on? Focus on the face. Because I want kind of a shimmer bronzer, nothing too matte, I'm gonna use the Hourglass Luminous Bronze Light. Now, this stuff you have to use a pretty light hand with. I'm just using my MAC 135 brush, and I'm just gonna start to kind of go in there because this stuff is pigmented. I always feel like this side of my face ends up bronzer than this side of my face. And then I take my Morphe E34 brush and I just really buff it out. I feel like it softens up my bronzer so much. Gives it more of a natural look. It doesn't have like a harsh line. And it's bronzer, it's not contour. It should not have like a harsh beginning or a harsh end. So next I'm gonna do blush, and I'm using my Milani Baked Blush in the color Luminoso. I like this blush because it has a little bit of a kind of peachy, pinky, golden tone. So I think it's perfect for like a really bronzy look. Contour my nose really quick just because I've gotten so used to having a nose contour. I just like to have one. Just using my Shade and Light palette. I think adding dark is good to your nose, but the thing that I always notice the most is when you add light color on the bridge of your nose. And I do it kind of on the sides here. I just use my finger. I don't know why. It'd probably be better if I did it more efficient. Then I just bounce my beauty blender on top to make sure it's blended. Let's do my Cupid's bow. And then under my lip to make it look more plump. If I felt like I needed a little bit more sculpting, I could do my face, but I feel like I have enough face product on. So I'm gonna use my little handy dandy stippling brush to kind of melt in a little bit of that. For my favorite part, highlight. I use the Tarte Skin Twinkle in the color Sunlight. I'm gonna try Nikki Tutorial's little trick of like setting your face and one side of your face and then doing it right at the very end, right before your face is completely set. So the same thing she did, Urban Decay All Night Setting Spray, and do half my face. And then right before it's dry, I'm gonna pop on the highlight. Oh, it definitely gives you lots of highlight, that's for sure. Yes, yes, yes. Other side. Can we talk about this right now? Holy macaroni. You know, I like to do like a little bit up here above the arch of my eyebrows. I'm gonna do my Cupid's bow and my inner corners. Taking that same highlighter, we're gonna go onto our bone right here. So you can kind of pop it out a little bit if you need to. And we're just gonna highlight it. And then just kind of set everything onto lips. Really simple lip look, but kind of fun. Their new Tarte Rainforest of the Sea collection, the color Bikini. It's not as bright on the lips as it looks on in the actual tube. Oh, and I exfoliated my lips just so they were nice. They weren't like kind of cakey or anything like that. Right now I don't have any liner, and I feel like it's bleeding a little bit, so I'm gonna throw a little liner on. What I have is this Candy Yo-Yo by MAC. It's really hot pink though. So I just kind of ran it all over my lips too. I'm just gonna go back through with this. I'm gonna take one of my little Buxom glosses. This is Sweet Thing. It's just a little sample. And I'm just gonna add it here. This kind of helps just like blend it out and fill in little spots. I like to just pounce my finger over it just to make sure it's all blended out. So guys, that's the final look. You could definitely do it with a much less dramatic lip. I just wanted a little bit of color because I have absolutely no color really on my eyes except a little bit of champagne-y gold color. I wanted a little pop of color somewhere, but you can do it with just the gloss. You can do it with something really peachy, pinky. So yeah, I think it fits the look. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any requests. Thumbs up this video if you liked it. That really does help my channel kind of grow. It gets me noticed. It gets me in your recommended box, in your friends' recommended box, or other channels, subscribers, I don't know. It does a whole bunch of crazy stuff behind the scenes, but it helps my channel grow. So if you like this look, give it a thumbs up. Any requests down below, and I will see you guys soon. All right guys, thanks.